back. This is Aquarium Hacks by Marcus. Now, on my last video was the rock video. I was talking about, realistic rocks, real rocks versus fake rocks. And these are the fake rocks that I have been working on. Remember when I was spray painting them, and then I decided to epoxy coat them, and this is the end result. Now they're getting ready to get put into my main tank here, at least my big tank. I won't necessarily call it my main tank because this little 8-gallon is also a main tank of mine as well. But as this is getting ready to get put into the larger tank, and so I just want to show you guys the results of what this looks like now, and it looks very. I put a very realistic, I believe, look on it. It's definitely glossy from the epoxy resin, but when it goes underwater, you won't see that gloss hardly at all once it's underwater. And so, just to explain to you really quick what I've done here with these rocks. From the beginning, I use crayon coffee brown spray paint, and you can use whatever color is your desire, but just try to get something to match what's in your tank, or just whatever you want to do. But I use crayon, and I lightly spray painted it with the crayon, and then after I let the crayon dry for 7 days, usually the 8th day is when I let it dry. So I let the spray paint dry, and once the spray paint was dried, I feel like that it was dried. Then I took art resin, epoxy resin, and I epoxied that with the art resin. And once that was mixed up properly and right, and then applied to here, and then I let that dry for 24 hours. And then after 24 hours, what I did, I went back with some sandpaper, about 80 grit. You can do 120, would be just fine. 120 grit would be actually excellent. So, but I went back with an 80, and I went back with a 220 because that's all I had on my hand. And so I went back with that, and I scuffed it up a little bit lightly with that sandpaper. Then I poured the epoxy resin on it again, the art resin on it again. And then I let it sit for this time 3 days, the 4th day. Okay, so it's 72 hours, but I go on into the 4th day. Then after that, it was completed and it was done. And now this is totally safe, 100% for your aquarium. So what is this going to do? Well, sometimes when you paint aquarium projects, even though crayon is totally safe for your aquarium, after some time, sometimes, especially if you don't let it cure properly, it will start to chip off in your aquarium water. Chipping off and making your tank not look so good. Now, it might take some time for it to chip off, but it will eventually start to do that. So with this epoxy resin, this art resin that I've got, it will never do that. It will never chip off. It will stay like this for years and years and years to come. So it's like a permanent solution to a often coming problem. And what's so wonderful, some people like to paint their pipes black to match their background. You can do that with a crayon. Let it cure for the 7 days. On the 8th day, epoxy resin, get some epoxy resin, aquarium safe epoxy resin, and you're ready to go. And that's going to stay for years and years and years to come. You don't have to worry about it no more. This is totally safe, 100% inert, and the art resin is just perfect for your fish tanks. So, not advertising for art resin or anything, but I just want to give you guys some good tips on if you want to go a different route and redo your decorations. Use art resin. Use it properly, and you won't have any problems. Okay, so this is Aquarium Hacks. Hey, keep on hacking.